Hello everyone, my name is Lily and I'm the creative director here at Bubblegum Cartoons, and today I'll be teaching you how to draw like an animator, and we will be sketching Starfire from Teen Titans. She is a bubbly and upbeat alien princess with starbolt powers and flying powers. Today we will be drawing hand-drawn on paper like the old days. I know you guys are used to me drawing on my Cintiq tablet, but we are going back to the old antique animation wheel today. Here I have some animation paper. I got this at lightfootlimited.com. Here is my peg bar, which is where you stick the paper. You'll notice that animation paper has 3 holes at the bottom, which sticks them to the bar. That way everything stays perfectly in place when you're animating or sketching. It also holds the paper in place when you spin the wheel. I'm a loser and I don't have a table to put this wheel in quite yet, so I'm going to be just using it in place today. And this just magnets right back in. So first I'm going to use my Prismacolor Col-Erase Pencil in red for the initial sketch. Then I'll have my Micron pen. I got this on Amazon for the final ink line work. And then I have a rubber eraser from Daiso. I love how neatly and tidily this erases things. It's very clean. Now, don't let your eyes deceive you. This is not a bowl of ramen. My best friend Marcy gave me this eraser and sharpener combo. These are my Copic markers. I love Copic markers. They have a chisel tip and a pointed tip. I got these in a pack on Amazon, so I just have some grays and a black. Here we have some Dylan Bonner sketchbooks. What I love so much about the gal we are drawing today is that she has very mermaid-like qualities, so I got these for inspiration. Here I have the Steven Silver How to Draw book. This is really great for learning about how to draw a character with flow, shape, and all that stuff. Definitely check it out. Finally, I have my light box. I got this way back in my art school days. I love this thing. It just helps me see the sketches behind. So before I got sketching on the final thing today, I did some warm-up sketches just to kind of get an idea of how I wanted her to be, how I wanted her shapes to be like, and I also wanted to get that line of action in and get some ideas for some poses that would, get that mermaid-like quality and be really full of dimension and movement. Since it's animation, we don't want these things to just kind of be laying there on the paper. We want it to bounce to life and come alive, like it's really going to be moving and animated. It makes it far more interesting. So let's get started. On this piece of paper, I'm using my Col-Erase red pencil here. Now this part is the most fun. It's my favorite because you can just be super loose. Don't even worry about it. None of these lines are official. Just keep it light and then you can tie down your favorite lines later. So as you can see, I did the circle of the cranium. I did the line under her eyes and then the line of action down her face so we can see like where her head is turning. And so next I will be drawing, just getting that feeling down of where her legs are going to go, where her arms are going to go, and the kind of line of action. I'm going to have that little curve, that little motion, that way that she's flying and which way her arms are going, and you really, really want to get a very good silhouette. So if you fill this all in black, you could still tell that it's Starfire. It's not just like someone standing up and down or anything like that. It's like it's action. It's full of, her personality. So one of my favorite things is drawing hair, so we're using that Dylan Bonner book, of course, to kind of get inspiration of how hair should flow back and forth or up and down, or like where the hair ends versus like where the roots are. So I'm just sketching in more here, and like I said, this part is super fun. Just have fun with it. You can be super loosey-goosey and put lines wherever you want, because you can always correct it later. This is the perfect opportunity to make silly mistakes. You'll see that I put the thumb on the wrong side of her hand at one point because I'm ridiculous. And the funny thing about Starfire is she's got these teeny tiny caterpillar eyebrows. And always, of course, be sure to check your model sheet. When you're sketching a character that already exists, there should always be a model sheet. This kind of shows you what her height should be, what her proper costume should look like, all the proper details. Of course, this is stylized to my style. However, I wanted to keep a lot of certain things, the same as her original character, such as eyebrows, hairline, her costume, the way her boots are, things like that. Having a reference is not copying. I know a lot of early artists think that if they use a reference, that means you're copying something or it's not truly your art. I insist that you use a reference. I do not insist that you just trace or copy what you see, but use it as a reference. Alrighty guys, so now I have my light box underneath my animation wheel and I am starting to ink her in. So this is the point where we're going to try to make a little less mistakes. This is where we're going to start tying down her character. So I'm going in with my Micron pen and I'm going over all my favorite lines and the lines that I think best represent her form. With microns, you do have to be a little careful because as soon as you draw with it, it will be wet ink and it does smudge. It doesn't smudge a whole lot, but when it does, oh boy, does it make it count. So here's kind of where I'm using my Steven Silver knowledge from that book of where shapes are really going to play into each other. I typically like doing straight lines with some tension on the other side. You can see here she's kind of coming together. And this is also where you can fix a lot of those silly mistakes that you made the first time. Alrighty, now that we inked her, I decided I didn't really like some of the mistakes that I made. I wanted to make her cleaner. It wasn't exactly up to my standards, so I'm taking this hedgehog washi tape and I'm making it like a little packet here since, like I said, my wheel doesn't turn because it's not in a proper table, so I'm just making a little packet on top of my light box and I will be going over it one more time without the red sketch. I already got, you know, the basic line work down. I just want things to be a little cleaner and fix a couple things. So in case you guys are curious, I spin my paper just so I can get that curve on the correct side of my hand. It makes it a lot more comfortable, especially when you draw all day long like I do. Like, don't feel like you have to draw this way. It's just a way that I really prefer drawing. It's kind of hard to get away from it, you know, after you don't have a wheel. So that's why I made this little packet here, and that's why I kind of feel like the line work on the first inking wasn't up to my personal standards. So it's not a big deal. I'm just going to go over it again. If you guys are animators, you know that feeling of drawing something over and over and over again. So here I'm just correcting even more shapes. Some of the line work was a little wiggly, so it's really important to have confidence in your line. It really, really shows in the final product, and people who buy your art will really notice it too. It's so important to, you know, believe in that line, have confidence, and really just have fun with it too, of course. Don't be too hard on yourself. We are all still learning. You're never going to be your ultimate artist. We always have epiphanies all the time. So I'll certainly get better than this in a week or a month or, you know, anything like that. We're always learning. We're always changing. And that is super important. So don't be too hard on yourself. Ta-da! Now that all her inking line work is done, we're gonna go over this final piece with some Copic markers. The Copic markers, like I said, I got on Amazon in a warm gray pack. I didn't want to color her in all the way because that would be a very long video talking all about, you know, values and hair shine and how metal reflects versus hair and, you know, all that stuff, which is a very whole different monster. So we are just going in with some gray values today just to kind of show her volume and, you know, the shine of her hair and stuff like that. So what I do is I tend to work light to dark. Sometimes I work the other way too, so I'm just going in with some warm grays. I mostly work with the pointed tip, and really blending is the name of the game. Just blend, blend, blend. You don't want any of those like harsh lines unless that's the style you're going for, but personally I prefer a much smoother looking piece. Again, I'm just spinning the paper because it's most comfortable for my hand. You can also feel free to take a picture of this or scan it into the computer and work on it on your tablet or your iPad on Procreate, and you can digitize her. You can also feel free to animate this as well. There's so many different possibilities that you can do. And then finally, I'm just going with that black to get the darkest values, things like behind her head where her hair is, and of course the pupils of her eyes should always be the darkest part of your sketch because that really helps draw people in. And it kind of wakes up the character. You'll see when I fill in the pupils. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching. Here is our Starfire intergalactic princess superhero. I love her so much. She's got a wonderful line of action. She has a little bit of shading, some inked line work, and I think she turned out pretty cute if I do say so myself. I hope you guys learned something. I hope I was clear enough. If you have any more questions, please just ask them down below. I reply to every single one of you. Of course, huge shout out to my patrons on Patreon. You guys are totally wicked. I love you guys so much. We also have a brand new offer. If you guys are the matcha latte level of our patrons on Patreon, I will draw your avatar for your Twitter/Instagram, whatever you like. So that is a brand new offering. You also get access to newsletters, behind the scene footage, and all that other fun stuff. So go on over there, check it out if you want. If you guys don't have the means, don't even worry about it. Just share this video with your friends. That's all I ask for. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, stay inspired.